Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Coventry Crusade for what's the 8th season here? I think it's the 8th season. I'm got to be close to that by now. So this episode we're going to be doing the Community Shield against Man United, which is because we won the FA Cup. They won the league last year, so very interesting to see how we get on against them. Hopefully, because I don't think we've beaten them the last couple of times we played them. Looks like we've won, draw and lost one. Close. So let's quickly run through the transfers, because not a great deal been going on in terms of players coming in and players going out. There's been a few, so we'll start off with let's go with the highest money. The players I said were going to be leaving: Hassan, Takashima, Campbell, all did leave. Hassan leaving 21 million to Mainz. Mainz spent a lot, 31 million to us this year. Takashima went there as well. Ahmed Ashur went to Leverkusen. He's a very good centre back. He just wouldn't fit into the team because I've got so many good centre backs. So that was a problem we had to rectify, so he left. Hadjic wanted to leave. A little bit disappointed, not for him, because we paid 9 million. We made a loss on him by 3 million. He didn't really get a chance really, and just a little bit disappointed, and just one of those that you buy and just hope it's going to fit in. It just didn't work. Then Campbell went to Sunderland. He wasn't going to get first team football, especially the player I brought in. A few players went out on loan, just to give him first team football really. The rest of them are all loans going out. They're the only ones I get money for, while they just left on a free. So the one player I have bought in and spent probably almost one of the most in one go has been Thomas Pozzo, who looks immense. He's a tenacious defensive midfielder. He's going to be that rock in front of our midfield, in front of our defence. He's valued at 32 million. Getting him for what did I get him for? 28. Quite happy that he's done really well in Spain and South Vigo, and that wasn't even his release fee. His release fee was like 49. I think again for half that is pretty decent. So very happy to get him in. He looks like he's going to be a pretty decent player for us. After you guys free kick taken, hopefully he can bang a couple of them in the top corner, and we'll see how the season gets on. But definitely looks like he's going to be a solid player for us. The only thing I just noticed is dives into tackles. Hopefully that doesn't come into play too much. And yeah, so effectively that's really all we've done. We've had a few issues with Tornado. He's wanted to go to Man City. He's asked to leave, but I'm utterly refusing to let him go. He is our best defender. He's contracted till 2026, 3 years. He said he'd stay if we got into the Champions League. We've done that, so therefore he's staying. That's my logic to it. That's what I'm sticking to my guns. Plus, they were coming in with bids of like 23 million. It was like not a chance. I asked for like 60 and they were saying no, so it's like go away. So effectively that's really it in terms of our transfers. We haven't really done a lot at all. Yeah, out of 12 games they've won 10, we've drawn and won one, so this is going to be an interesting one. They're playing, looks like a rotated team, but we'll find out in a minute. This is probably going to be our strongest lineup this year in terms of players. Kloos might be the one that makes way for Van Dinturen, but I'm not entirely sure on that yet. We'll find out as the season goes on. So we're mainly going to be going Bonella, Tornado, Camille, Kloos, Pozzo, Kovic, Faria, Stokes, Lemessia and Gallardo. Gallardo. I need to find an actual nickname for him, because he was starting to do well there. Lemessia is actually a pretty decent complete forward, and he can move out to that right wing if he's not playing very well, and I can bring in Castro to play the advance or the complete forward role. So I've got a few options to mix it around if I have to. Brittencott's moved to the bench. He's been here since I've come to the club, and no, haven't we brought him in actually from Leeds? No, well, I don't think he was here. Gale was here from when we started. He left last season, which is disappointing, but he wanted first team football and he just wasn't going to get it with us. But since he has come in, he's done exceptionally well. Very solid. definitely a very decent player if you can pick him up. In terms of that, I think everything's the same. Alves has come back from loan. He's going to be in and around the team. Samir's out on international duty, which is one thing I want to do. I want to move on to some of the players who were going away in January. In like Hassan left, there's someone else left as well. Anyone that's probably is going to leave is Samir when he goes off to Egypt. So other than that, we should have a pretty solid squad for the rest of the season. So we're going to jump straight into the game and see how we can get on. And going to have a good test against United, who I don't actually know who. Oh yeah, they brought this guy in, Eldovin Karic, world-class striker. He's 21, he's German, and he's valued at 52 million. They paid 77 for him. It's like, and Dortmund paid 57, and he only had 2 seasons there. From Gladbach, I must be raking it in. They must be jumping to the moon and back. 57, they probably had an add-on fee on that as well. And him to come to United for 57, he just looks a monster. He's going to be the big problem this year. There's been some big deals. So they're going with the 4-4-1-1. Roberto, Owen, Jimenez, Wembanga, Mo, Dembele, Pogba, Menza, Unasa, Algerian guy. Don't know much about him, to be honest. Andre Gomez, or Angel Gomez, not Andre, and Karic up top. So we can jump into the game and we'll get going. Right, first highlight, it's a minute in. We've already had the opening goal highlight, and they're coming forward like crazy. This Karic guy shoots first time, good save. Thomas is hopefully going to have a really good season for us. And they've got the first corner, they whip it in, Kovac heads out, Stokes is going to pounce on it. He's got Lemessia ahead of him, long ball up to him, good takedown. Cuts inside on his stronger right foot. Menza comes back and covers. Dragovic clears it. Anusu, good tackle by Kovac. Camille, lovely passing. Ooh, good try by Pozzo, which is going to be the one thing from that deep role. He's going to be pinging passes around. I'll sort of try and adapt it so he's like a defensive player, but is a very deep playmaker, but not the deep line playmaker role, because that wanders a little bit too much. I want him to sort of stay quite stationary in the middle, but we'll see how that goes. Coming up to half time, 41 minutes in, this is the next highlight. We haven't had anything since that last highlight. Playing it down the line for Corcoran, Karic front post, and he's knocked it in. Thomas gets a hand to it, but he doesn't put it clear. And it's just gone in off the crossbar. A little bit disappointed to concede such a weak sort of goal when our keeper gets a hand to it, but nothing that he seemed to have done to actually clear it. There we go. Down the line, we just don't come across quick enough, and he just dinks it in, heads it. He probably should have just left it. Possibly was going over the top of the bar. 80th minute, and nothing's happened since that last highlight. Well, we could have gone equal. It's just the second half's just gone. We're not getting back into this now, as they make it 2, which they really didn't need. They won the FA Community. Is it the FA Community Shield? Or was it just a Community Shield? Then Bello whips it in. Just no one's marking him at the front post, and he just slots it in the back of the net, which is a little bit disappointing to come out and lose this when I felt they've had the better game. I felt we deserved a little bit more than 2-0. Probably 1-0 was a fair result, but 2 seems like they had a bit more about it, but they really didn't. They only had those 2 chances that they showed, and that was it. No, it's just it is the FA Community Shield. Didn't realise it was that. Right, so I only wanted to do a quick sort of intro episode to the start of the season in terms of what the season looks like. The draw for the Champions League group is on the transfer deadline day, so it'll be around here. We're in between here, so I don't even know who we're going to get yet. But I will come back for somewhere within the Champions League group, because depending who we get, I don't want to do someone like really foreign or really, that came out wrong, like a smaller team. I'd rather do a big team if we get like a Valencia, a Barcelona or something like that, a bigger team, depending on who we draw, because I don't know where we're going to end up in the group. Will it tell me who's best place playoff? Wow, okay. Real Madrid, PSG, Dortmund, Atletico, Wolfsburg. I'd rather come back and do a bigger team like that rather than come back and say do AZ in Holland or Ghent in Belgium. I'd rather do a higher end team just to be a bit more challenging, really. So that's probably when we're going to come back next, is for whatever happens there. So guys, if you enjoyed, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the description below if you think we'll get out of the group, how far do you think we'll get. Bear in mind we don't know what the group's going to be. Next episode is probably going to be a better one to gauge where we're going to come, but let me know what you think. Just off a gut feeling, where do you think we're going to get? I reckon we'll get out of the group or go out in the first knockout round, but you never know. So guys, if you have enjoyed, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next episode for when we come back for some point in the middle there. So I'll see you then.